What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is American Horror Story, Season 8, Apocalypse, Episode 1. All right, y'all, this was a good episode. It was kind of confusing. I'm not going to lie to you. It's some things that I just won't be able to understand because I watched Season 1. This is supposed to be a cross between Season 1 Murder House and Coven Season 3, which is my all-time, hands down, my favorite season, okay? So this is a cross between both seasons. So some of the things I might miss in Murder House, because I haven't seen Murder House in a long time, so y'all might have to help me out with some of these crossovers and what this all means. Okay, so the first sequence is we start off with the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world. So we're living in the present day. I think Ryan Murphy said this is supposed to happen like a few months from now, so maybe November or whatever, but they're in Southern California, and we have our first two main characters, which is Coco Vanderbilt and Mr. Gallion. Mr. Gallion is Evan Peters, and he is giving Coco a haircut. She says she's trying to be an Instagram influencer, so you know her haircut got to be on point. They are there with her assistant, Mallory. And so while they're there, you know, she's going off on Mallory about some juice or whatever, child, and you know... talking to her crazy. And basically, her dad calls her on the phone and say, hey, look, the end of the world about to happen. You need to get up out of here. I got you 4 tickets to a bunker that's going to keep you safe. Me and your mama not going to make it. So go get your brother and y'all get on the plane and, you know, go to the bunker. And she like, you playing, you joking. Right before that, they got almost like an Amber Alert, or, you know, the warning that you would get when, you know, it's about to go down, basically. So that's what happened. They got the alert saying it's about to go down. And she was like, you know, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's false. Kind of like the one they had in Hawaii. I think somebody even said that. And then that's when her dad calls her. So she trying to get the hell up out of there. She telling Mallory, you know, please come with me. You know, I can't live without you, girl. Like, I ain't going to be able to make it. And she calling her husband in the meantime. And he trying to get to her, but he in traffic. So, you know, in the meantime... what's his name, go get his Nana. Mr. Gallion goes to get his Nana. Nana just sitting up in the house. Nana is John Collins. Hello, Jobs. Hello, work. Come on, Jobs. Mr. Gallion go get his Nana. And Nana just sitting on the couch talking about, you know, when your grandfather ran the studio, you know, he didn't call anyone back to the next day. That's how they did it a long time ago. Well, bitch, I'm gonna need you to answer the phone because, girl, sis, no, ma'am. The world is about to end, girl. So as they trying to get to the airport, like I said, she begging Mallory to come with her. You know, her brother her brother not gonna make it. So, you know, they need to hurry up. And so they make it to the plane. But as they getting on the plane, people are starting to come towards the plane, like the airport workers. So the plane, you know, the pilot is like, y'all need to get on the plane right now. He's shooting people as they coming. Boom, boom, boom. He's shooting people. Everybody gets on the plane. And, you know, everybody like, oh, my God, what's gonna happen? You know, it was funny because she was on the phone with Brock trying to get him there or whatever. He was like, I'm in traffic or whatever. And she was like, baby, you know that agreement we had where, you know, you could see other people? You could do that now, okay? Click. And I was like, oh, my God, girl, you don't even care about your husband. But only Ryan Murphy would write something like this, right? So they all get on the plane. They flying in the air. And Mallory is like, okay, well, where are we going? You know, what's happening? So she goes to the front of the plane to check. But apparently there's nobody flying the plane. So my question was, how did they get in the air? Is it automatically controlled plane? Like, I'm confused. You have no pilot. The crane starts to, you know, the plane starts to shake like it's going to crash. And, you know, they look out the window and then they see that there's a big giant boom that happens. So I'm guessing it's some kind of newfangled fly yourself plane that we ain't never heard about or seen in the present day. But okay, Ryan Murphy, but we gonna go with it. All right, we gonna roll with it, I guess. At the same time, we also see a young boy. He's with his family. He's about to get into UCLA. They waiting to see if he got in. So, you know, they all excited about it. And they find out, they jumping up and down. Bam, you got a UCLA. Boom, boom, boom. And then all of a sudden, this woman comes in the house and she's like, listen, or the dad comes in the house like, have y'all been watching the news? Have y'all seen what's going on? And then a woman comes behind him, not too far. And she's like, listen, we need to take your son. You know, we've come here to take him. He had the DNA that, you know, we need or whatever. And so we got to take him. And so they like, well, how you know about our DNA? You put your DNA Ancestry.com. I said, uh-oh. I haven't done Ancestry.com, but I want to. Okay, so, but that's where they got his DNA profile from. And the family is like, hell no, you ain't gonna take him. You know, like, you're not gonna take my son. What you talking about? And they said, you know what? We don't accept that. We don't accept that. We reject that. And they came and they took him. They took him like a mighty Russian wind, okay? Came up in there, honey. That was sad. Through all the absurdity, they did have some touching moments, like when the security, when the newscaster was saying that, you know, it's the end of the world. Basically, like, it's to what it sounds like to me is like, he said, I can't believe we really did it. So I don't know if that means like America dropped a nuclear bomb on somebody, then they dropped a nuclear bomb on us, and it's the end of the world. And he's sitting up there like, I'm not going to make it home. And then he was like, I just want to tell my kids, you know, I love you. And it just goes blank. So that was kind of sad. And, you know, if you really think about the end of the world in today's times, people, you know, like y'all president be threatening to nuclear, you know, bomb people. You think that in 2018, if we have a nuclear bomb and we drop it on somebody, that they're not going to drop a nuclear bomb on us if they have one? If you don't think that everybody in the world is going to die behind this, you're crazy. That's why all nuclear weapons, I feel like, should be destroyed. Because the one time we did it, them people are still paying the price for that to this very day. Okay, so it's not something that's a good thing for any part of society. Because once you start dropping bombs on everybody, everybody dead, okay? Everybody dead. So they moved the boy to this facility. It's like a bunker or something. And in the facility, there's another little girl. The little girl, I mean, not little girl. She a teenager like him. She said she don't know, you know, what they got her. He's like, well, did they get you from your house too or whatever for your DNA? She was like, no, they got me from jail because she had did something, child, and went to jail. I can't remember what it was. But they got her too. So they in there and they there when the boom happens as well. So, you know, your whole family there, everybody gone, you know. So then they moved them to this secure facility. They make them put on hazmat outfits. Now we in like a whole new world. It's dust flying everywhere. Everything is desolate. There's no trees. There's no nothing. So they put on these hazmat suits and they bring them into this facility and spray them down, you know, I guess to deradiate them or whatever, to cleanse them, and bring them into this facility. Now, this facility is an old school. It's a converted boys school, and it's ran by the cooperative. Okay, so a lot of people were saying that this is the murder house. The murder house is, you know, where this place is, because y'all, if you remember from season 1, the murder house was a portal. It was like a portal to hell or a portal to something else, another dimension or whatever the case may be. So a lot of people are saying this is where the murder house stood, okay, because remember that was in California as well. So, but it seemed like to me if they was in California and they got on a plane to fly somewhere, it wouldn't be to another part of California. But maybe it is in another part. I don't know, because I thought murder house was in LA. But who am I? So anyway, the house is ran by Wilhelmina Venable. That's Sarah Paulson's character. And Kathy Bates' character is Miriam Mead. So they run this outpost. And the outpost has specific rules and very strict rules. Some of the rules are no sex. I can understand why they don't want people to have sex, because if you have sex, you could possibly have a baby. There's not access to birth control. Who got time to be feeding a baby child? Nobody. Okay, they don't have food. They don't have resources for all of that. So keep your legs closed, okay? So they said you cannot go outside for any reason, because if you go outside, you're going to get contaminated with radiation and you're going to basically slowly die, and you're going to wish you had just died in a boom and just disintegrated into dust, okay? And so they have certain clothes that they're supposed to wear. Okay, they have blue clothes, they have purple, and they have gray, if I'm not mistaken. I might be messing up some of that. But purple are for the rich people and for the selected people, the elite people. So it was like $100 million a ticket or something like that to get into this bunker. So that's why, you know, Nana is there. She got a ticket for her and her grandson, you know, and Coco family had tickets. They're just rich people. Then they have people that selected, like this boy and this girl. They selected for their DNA, so they also wear purple. And they also dress up like medieval times. Like the shit look like Willy Wonka, or it looked like Count Dracula up in the basement. I'm like, I don't understand why we dressed it like medieval time. I don't get that part, but okay, whatever. So they have to dress up for dinner, very formal. Then they have the people who are grays. The grays are servants. They are just, she says they're happy to be there to serve them, you know, because they alive, okay? So the place is kind of like hell, you know, like when you think hell was gonna get killed, but it's actually hell being alive with these same 8 people or 7 people. Nobody Nobody gets along, really, you know, except for Joan Collins. She just living her best life, basically, okay? They're all complaining. So they all go to dinner for the night, and at the dinner, Wilhelmina comes out and tells them basically that they had a breach. The dinner is, I forgot to tell y'all, the dinner is a cube. It's basically a gelatin cube that has all the nutrition that they need, okay, in a little cube. Gelatin cube. Okay, so you know everybody pissed about that. They want real food. Coco is like, what is going on? For all the money we pay, we should have Chef Ramsay up here cooking dinner. Like, what is the tea, girl? And Wilhelmina comes out and says, listen, this what we got, and this what you gonna eat, or you gonna die. Now, guess what? We had a breach, okay, and somebody in here, you know, got some radiation. So we need to check all of y'all. So they start checking people with the radiation meter. They checking. Okay, they checking. They get to whoever, the boy and the girl. I don't know their name. Then they get to Stu. Stu got it. Then they get to Mr. Gallion. Mr. Gallion, he got it. Uh-oh. So they drag both of them out the room. So everybody's like, oh shit, what's about to happen? Oh my God. So they take them back into this room, and basically they spray them with all this stuff to decontaminate them, and then they brush their body with these real hard brushes butt naked. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought this was gonna go left. Y'all seen Hotel. Y'all seen that first episode. I'm just saying, I thought somebody was gonna get poked in the booty hole. I was like, I can't do this, okay? I can't do this with y'all. But they did it, thank God. But Wilhelmina and Miriam came in there, and they was like, you know, they checked them with the radiation meter again, and unfortunately Stu was still dirty. So he had it. He had the package. So you know, he was like, I can't go through this no more. I can't go through the spraying no more. And homegirl was like, Miriam was like, baby, you don't have to go through the spraying no more. And she shot him. It was over with. After that, they come back and tell everybody, hey, you know, we got a special treat for you guys. We know it's going to be hard, you know what I'm saying, being here for the next 18 months, but, you know, we got a treat for you. So they bring out some stew, you know, like some soup or whatever. And you know, homeboy, I don't know his name, the black dude, he was like, y'all remember, if you ever watched, what's that show that come on Lifetime, y'all? It's so good. I'm gonna put it right here when I figure out the name of it. But homeboy from that show, he was like, you know, because that was his boyfriend, Stu was his boo, right? He was like, you're not gonna just, you know, pacify us with a hot meal, and everybody just tearing it up. Oh my God, it's so good. But then they start putting out bones like, oh shit, what is this? This don't look like no chicken bone, bitch. What is this? And he pulled out something and said, please tell me this don't look like a finger. So he started tripping like, oh my God, the stew is stew. The stew is stew. The stew is stew, my nigga. He started tripping, he hollering, he screaming, he throwing a fit or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, y'all, this whole time, Jones say, you know what, Nana say, it's so delicious. I'm gonna continue to eat it. I mean, it's full of nutrition and full of fiber. I'm gonna eat every last drop. I said, she said, fuck what y'all talking about, okay? Everybody's, you know, pissed about this. Like, they basically being cannibals. They all stop eating. They're talking about it later. And then while they talking about what happened, the radio, because the radio had been playing the same song by the Carpenters over and over and over and over and over again, right? Over and over. The song changes at some point. It says somebody, if you can make it through the night, you know, just think about tomorrow, some kind of song. So one of the dudes is like, oh my God, something about to happen. You know, it's a message. At the same time, we have now 18 months passed during this whole time. So they taking us 18 months out of this situation, right? They still in the house. The boy and the girl that got captured, you know, they fell in love with each other, so they sneak a kiss every once in a while just so they can get their minds right. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else is just, you know, yet holding on, child. They just trying to make it. Like I said, you might have did better if you had just disintegrated into dust and living with these crazy ass people. During this time, Miriam and Wilhelmina are talking to themselves. Well, in secret, they put on purple. They're not purples. And the little girl saw this when she made the observation, and she was telling her the rules and everything at the beginning. She was like, okay, so you're not a purple. And she just looked like, wench. Okay, no, I'm not a purple. So we figure out that these two girls they just work for the cooperative. Okay, Wilhelmina and Miriam, they just work for the cooperative. They're not like elite status or nothing. They're basically like military, you know, members. And Miriam says to Wilhelmina, well, do you think we'll be doing this out of line? They admit to each other They secretly wear purple, first of all, in the room with each other while they playing cards, and they admit to each other that they like torturing the people. They're not supposed to do that, apparently, and this is what they do. They get pleasure out of torturing these people or whatever. And Miriam is contemplating, like, you know, do you think what we doing is right? We just making up our own rules. And Wilhelmina is like, we are the only people that's left. You know, we're the only people that's left. So, like, it's us, bitch. We don't work for them. Like, we doing us. So we clearly see that this is not going to be good for her in the end. I don't think she going to make it to the new place. Okay? So after this, we see later on that the Antichrist arrives. If y'all remember from the first season, the lady had a baby. The baby killed the nanny and all of that stuff. And so we find out that this person, Michael Landon, same name, okay, arrived. He arrives by horse. He says that he tells Wilhelmina that there's another sanctuary that has 10 years worth of supplies. And he came to see who is worthy of going to this place. I'm like, okay, is there really another outpost, or is he just telling them that? He is the Antichrist. Did he bring on the apocalypse? Like, what is the tea with this man? I need to know, okay? I don't even think it's no other, you know, other sanctuary or whatever story he's trying to tell these people. I think that he might be the one who started the apocalypse, and this is going to be an exercise in torture and, you know, inhumane treatment, and some of them ain't going to make it. He said, I could take all of y'all. I could take none of y'all. It's up to me, okay? So that means Wilhelmina and Miriam. So this should be interesting to see how that turns out. And he tells, when he comes inside, he tells Miriam to take care of his horses. And when she kills the horses, on the ground, it took me like 3 times to rewind it, but it was like hands, feral hands, like came out of the ground and dragged them into the brush. So what's really going on? So I was kind of confused because you got devil stuff. You have apocalypse, like bombs and nuclear bombs, and then you have medieval dress, Willy Wonka style. You got weird, you know what I'm saying, people. It's a lot going on the first episode. You know, AHS usually keeps us like on our toes a little bit. They usually keep us, you know, like, what the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and confused. So I think for the next few episodes we're going to be confused. Now I'm going to see how Coven is going to play into this. How they going to involve the witches in this? Maybe this has, you know, like I said, the devil part of it. It will be, you know, the witches and stuff like that. But I'm glad they introduced us to the new characters before they brought back the old characters. So, like I said, if y'all can help me out with the season 1 comparisons, and I'm going to have to go back and watch season 1 to see, because when I watched it, I didn't love the season, so that's why I didn't really, like, pay attention. Like, Coven, yes, a lot of people are saying that, whatever her name was, Clarissa, the main chick, Sarah Paulson's character, you remember she was blind and she could see premonitions, and they were saying that this is one of her premonitions about the Antichrist and XYZ. So, you know, we'll see how that all turns out. But I know all the witches aren't coming back, but some of them are. So we'll see what happens. I would like to see Misty Day, especially since she died in a messed up way. I would love to see Misty Day's character come back from Coven. So I want to hear your thoughts about the show. Y'all let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with all your friends. And I will holler at y'all next week. Peace.